As an atheist, I am not afraid to face God's judgment. But as an atheist, I have to acknowledge that someday I may discover I was wrong. I mean, I don't think I am, but honestly, the same is true for everyone. No matter what your belief system is, or whether you have a belief system at all, there's always a chance you've gotten it wrong about the biggest question in life. And I've come across many Christians who love to point this out and use it as an argument against atheism. They say that if they were wrong, they have nothing to lose. When they die, it's just lights out. But if atheists are wrong, we have much more to lose. Of course, the implication is that atheists could end up being tortured forever in hell. I'm not here to debate that argument today. Atheists usually respond by pointing out that Christians are taking a similar risk if a different religion turns out to be true. Maybe another God exists, maybe another religion got it right. In that case, Christians could be facing judgment just like atheists. That's a very fair counter-argument, but that's not what this video is about. The reason I'm not afraid to face God someday is actually pretty simple. If God exists, and if God is truly all-knowing, then He would know exactly how my mind works. He would know every reason I became an atheist. Not because I hate Him, not because I wanted to rebel, not because I was looking for an excuse to live some sinful lifestyle. I know some believers assume that's why people leave religion, but I can promise you that has never been my story. There are many reasons I don't find the concept of God convincing. I've talked about those reasons in other videos, so I won't go into them here. What I will say is this: I would actually prefer God to exist. I would love to discover that there's an afterlife waiting for us. I would love to know that death isn't the end. Honestly, being proven wrong about atheism would make facing mortality a whole lot easier for me. But I can't force myself to believe something simply because I find it comforting. Belief doesn't work that way. At least it doesn't for me. And if God is all-knowing, He would understand that. He would know that I've tried to be honest with myself. He would know that my lack of belief isn't coming from arrogance, hatred, or a hardened heart. It's simply where my search for truth has led me. So if God is truly loving, compassionate, and understands us better than we understand ourselves, then I don't see why He would condemn someone for being unconvinced. I am who I am. I can't be scared into belief by threats of eternal punishment. Fear might persuade some people, but it can't create genuine belief. And if God exists, He would know the difference. So if I ever stand before God after I die, I won't be standing before a stranger. I'll be standing before a being who knows every thought I've ever had, every doubt I've wrestled with, every question I've asked, and every reason I arrived at the conclusions I did. He would know that my atheism was not born from hatred, rebellion, or a desire to avoid accountability. He would know that I simply wasn't convinced. And because of that, I am not afraid. In fact, I am confident that a truly all-knowing and loving God would not condemn an honest seeker for reaching the wrong conclusion. Such a God would understand me completely. So if I'm wrong and God is waiting for me on the other side, I don't expect condemnation. I expect understanding.